To our other big story, Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana will deliver his maiden midterm budget policy statement this afternoon amid an energy crisis that is crippling the economy. Eskom's executive team has been, at pains to explain the multiple technical challenges facing the power utility. There are expectations that the minister will move away from the austerity measures adopted by his predecessor, Tito Mboweni, and lean towards a more pro-poor policy stance. Will this happen? We will find out at 2 p.m. Let's bring in the better minds I've been talking about. Abra Barbie, we're also joined by Nastasia Aronsa as well on the ground for us in the Western Cape. Abra, expectations. Tell us more.
Blaine, I'm just going to get right into it. I've got two political party MPs with me right now, so I'll ask them what their expectations are. Voted Vessels, Freedom Front Plus, thank you so much for speaking to us. The question is, what are you expecting or hoping to hear the minister say today?
Well, firstly, let me say that the higher than expected revenue should not be mistaken as an instance where we are now out of trouble and where the fiscus is now healthy. We are still in an economic crisis, unemployment is still a crisis, and state debt is still a crisis. So the minister must utilize the opportunity given by this higher revenue to really set the path for economic growth. There should be investment in infrastructure, in structural reforms, and further expenditure should be curbed, especially the public wage bill.
Thank you for your time. Let me bring in Mr. Steve Swart of the ACDP. Same question, Mr. Steve. What is the ACDP hoping to hear the minister say in his maiden speech to the National Assembly today?
Well, we're hoping to see an economic growth increase. And we've seen, as a result of the COVID lockdown, economic growth has been at a very low. We've seen small businesses closing. So we want to see an increase in economic growth. We want to see the implementation of the recovery plan as a result of COVID-19. If we have economic growth, there'll be more revenue will be collected, and of course that will balance our debt and balance the books. Obviously, we're very concerned about the increase in public debt levels and debt service costs, which are increasing continually and crowding out other expenditure. So the tax windfall that is expected to be about 150 billion must be used to reduce government debt and, of course, stimulate economic growth so that we can create jobs and provide for our unemployed people in the nation.
Steve, thank you so much. I'll catch up with you after the speech. Blaine, that was the Freedom Front Plus and the ACDP giving us their expectations, what they expect of the minister to say during his speech. But I'm going to now hand over to my colleague Nastasia, who is also standing by with more analysis.
Thank you so much, Abra. Well, one of the burning questions which has seized government and civil society over the past few months is what, if anything, will replace the 350 social relief of distress grant in March next year. The SRD has been extended 3 times, especially since the July unrest. But to talk to us about their position is Huda Abrams-Faker, who's the National Advocacy Manager at Black Sash. Huda, thank you so much for your time. At 2 p.m. when the minister delivers, his budget speech, what are you hoping to hear in the lead up to what we might hear in February next year?
Well, we want at least the improvement of the SRD grant so that there's more access by putting money into the administrative processes so that there's no exclusion errors, and also that it be extended permanently and converted into social assistance for the unemployed working towards a universal basic income grant.
Right. On the ground, give us some perspective in terms of the impact you've seen this grant have on, the lives of those who need it the most, especially seeing that it has been extended 3 times already.
Well, the reason why it's been extended is because there is a need. But the impact is obviously not as great as it can be because the amount is below the food poverty line, and also because of administrative challenges like using outdated databases. What then happens is that many are excluded but are unemployed and should receive the grant. And that has been confirmed yesterday in the briefing by the Auditor General, where he said that SASSA should be proactive, ensuring that they're using updated databases to verify that people should get the grant.
Huda, thank you so much for your time. Well, that is Huda Abrams-Faker, who is National Policy Manager at Black Sash. And these are some of the issues that we are hoping that the medium-term budget policy statement will outline. Earlier, you may have seen reports of a proposed, we're not sure whether this is going to happen yet, a proposed family poverty grant, which a lot of the economists have said that from a theory point of view, it sounds absolutely perfect, but from an implementation point of view, it could prove basically problematic. It's also brought in the conversation about whether we should be reforming South Africa's welfare economy. How do we go about doing that in a way that has a meaningful impact? What sort of data should we be considering in order to be able to make sure that the grant system actually reaches all corners of the actual society and population, especially for those who might need it the most? So these are some of the things that we are hoping to hear, and also what the minister's stance is going to be on the universal basic income grant, which civil society has been calling out for. And I suppose from a numbers point of view, everyone wants to know, where is the money going to come from? So we're hoping that we'll get some kind of indication, some kind of clues at 2 p.m. this afternoon. And later on, do stay tuned, because we are going to be unpacking that speech and that statement, and hopefully it'll give us some kind of idea as to what to expect in February. Blaine?
Look, pertinent questions, Anastasia. South Africa is dealing with a raft of issues. COVID-19 hit us hard. Rolling blackouts hitting us hard. What sort of reprieve do we have from these issues? We have this vaccination, global vaccination drive. Will that make a dent in terms of the outlook of the economic growth? What about this reform agenda that is currently taking place? Will that increase investor confidence? We will soon find out. We thank you very much indeed for your reporting, as always, to you as well as Abra. We will catch up with you in a short while. Appreciate it. So we're asking you the question on the agenda with regards to your expectations. What should be prioritized in this medium-term budget policy statement? Please let us know at the agenda_SABC. It is coming in thick and fast. Let's put it up, see what you have to say in this regard. All right, Mtoko says, good morning. I think the minister must, 1, stabilization of electricity supply, 2, job creation, 3, public employment programs like basic grants, and 4, health and education infrastructure, 5, incentives for public servants, says Mtoko. I think Minister of Finance, Mr. Enoch Godongwana, must prioritize list 4. 1, water and sanitation, roads and bridges, electrification of houses, and the 4th one is increased SASA. That's Lechasa. Alex, not to be negative or anything, but nothing in my opinion, because the money will be looted anyway. So they should just allocate money to the minister's pockets, because money gets stolen without consequences, says Alex. Eugene, can they try to fix all SOEs, please, especially Eskom? And do we have one more? CVWare says, if it's possible to prioritize Eskom, we would appreciate it. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Call us on 084-813-3465, 084-813-3465. That's the number on your screen. Engage with us. Let us know your thoughts with regards to expectations around the midterm budget policy statement. Also, send us your voice note. Same number, 084-813-3465. That's the numbers to dial. Note it down, keep it handy. Please engage with us at the agenda_SABC. Quick break, more news next.